Hi, welcome. This is another episode of Did You Know? My name is Larissa. I am a real estate broker at your service. So, I just wanted to follow up on the previous video that I just recorded on how to choose a good lender for your home buying process. Now, in this video, I want to talk to you about red flags, things to look out for. I'm going to give you 10 mistakes to avoid or 10 things that you can be aware of so that you don't make any mistakes in the loan process. Because for me, it's not so much choosing the house, it is going through the loan approval process. That was the most stressful part of loans for me, and whether I was buying for myself or helping my clients buy a home. The communication, oh, you don't want to go there. That could be another video. So I want to just give you 10 things to look out for if you are buying a home and you want to finance that loan. So sharpen your pencil and make sure it's a red pencil so that you can look out for these red flags. Number one, if you are approached by a lender who has what I'm going to call teaser rates, like it's a really low interest rate and you're all excited because you say, oh my gosh, I'm going to save money. If that loan is too low or seems unnaturally low based on the published rates that you have found during your research, because you will do some homework, right? Then that might be a red flag, because what happens sometimes is they will give you a teaser rate just to get your business, to get you in the door. But if you read the fine print, there may be other fees that they've added into the loan to make it more appealing so that they do make money. And let's agree that, lenders do have the right to make money, and that's why they make the loans. But if you are working with a lender, like I said, you want to find someone who is competitive with their rates and terms so that you are not paying unnecessarily a lot of extra money. So check out that interest rate, compare it to what's being published at large so that you will ask all the right questions. Well, why is this so low? Right? If it's too good to be true, chances are it is too good to be true. So maybe they get you in the door, you have a few dings on your credit, or you don't have credit at all, and they say, hey, no credit, no problem. Because again, they'll get you in the door and promise to work with you. Here's my thought. Generally speaking, even if you have bad credit or no credit, you can usually get a loan because now the house is collateral, right? It just depends if there are other mitigating circumstances. And when I say mitigating, I mean if no credit, bad credit, but you make a lot of money or you have a big down payment, that may still get you the loan, right? So no credit, no problem. Good, possibly. But why is it not a problem? Are they going to gouge you with other add-on fees? So in shopping for your loan, make sure they're not throwing in 500 for this or 250 for that. They're going to charge you for this and they're going to charge you for that. That's not, there are fees, but they should not be exorbitant by dollar value or quantity. You want to avoid people that say, well, you have to hurry and get it today because if you don't get this loan today, then this loan's going to be gone tomorrow. When they start fast talking you, there's a reason. There's a problem. So I recently was being pressured by a lender to refinance, which is something else we'll talk about in a second. And it's true, the rates have dropped considerably. So I did want to refinance, but I don't like to be pressured. If they're pressuring you, then it's usually not to your benefit. So yes, someone should actively pursue your business. They should be professional about it. But if they're hounding you that you must act now, you should probably run the other way. If they charge you up front before they've even processed your loan, they've barely taken, if they charge you an application fee, for example, and say you have to prepay this, that could be a problem. You should not pay any money out of pocket other than the appraisal. Most times they will make you pay for the appraisal up front. But otherwise, if they start nickel and diming you up front, so you need to pay for this, you need to pay for this fee, that's usually a problem because most of those fees will come out of the closing process once the loan has been approved and you have bought the house and you're at the signing table. So beware if they start asking you for money up front before they've even provided you the service that you were seeking. Now, I've mentioned fees because there are a lot of fees, honestly, when you're buying a house. Everybody wants to get paid. But Sometimes fees can be negotiated, and sometimes the amount can be negotiated, sometimes, or who pays for those fees. Sometimes it's not buyer and seller. Most of the fees are negotiable as far as who pays what. It kind of depends on how good your offer is and how motivated the seller is. And it also may depend on norms in your area. So the title company that the realtor works with should be able to tell you what is customary in that area. But again, most times you can make an offer that maybe the seller splits the cost with you. He or she may or may not, but you can always ask. But they might charge you if they send someone to your house. That's called a mobile notary to come to your house to sign a doc. There may be a charge for that. There are recording fees, termite inspection fee or pest inspection fee. But once they start a mail fee or something crazy like that, you really want to read the fine print. And you will know about these fees because they are legally required to disclose their fees up front. If they seem unusual, make sure you ask or talk to your realtor so they can provide you some assistance on what is normal and what is not. Now, if someone just cold calls you and says, hey, would you like to, I can lend you some money to buy a house, that's a little bit, I would question that. If you can get a lender, find a lender through referral. If someone is just cold calling you, maybe you got a mailer, hey, rates are low, let me help you buy a house, may or may not be, oh God, Doug, pardon me, may or may not be valid, but I would be cautious if someone is just cold calling you, trying to get your business to buy a house, because that's a really big process. If they are requiring that you buy other products in order to get the loan. Frequently, what you hear is that they'll try and get you to buy credit insurance uh, because they want to make sure that they don't lose any money through this process. That might be a red flag or something that you want to consider. So just be aware that that is not the norm, and usually you do not have to buy that credit insurance. If they have prepayment penalties used to be fairly popular in the past, but now they are more rare, and you can usually find a legitimate lender that does not have a prepayment penalty. So as I think I mentioned, lenders obviously are making money on the interest that they charge, and so if you pay it off early, they're not going to make as much money off of you. So that's why some lenders would charge a prepayment penalty, which means you'd have to pay a lump sum if you pay the loan off too early within the first 3 to 5 years, for example. So again, read your fine print and question or otherwise try and negotiate out that there is no prepayment penalty, or find another lender. So I hope that was number 9. And then finally, sometimes lenders will approve your first loan with so-so rates, maybe good rates, maybe not good rates. Because they're going to call you in 1 year or 2 years and try and get you to refinance with them so they can charge you all over again. So there are so many variables when you're buying a house and so many things to consider. So that's why it's really important to have a partner, a realtor, to work with you and walk you through the process so that you can get your questions answered. And, like I said, not every lender is going to be a bad lender, but there are certain things that you should look out for and that you should question. Don't be afraid of asking questions. This is your money. This is a huge commitment and most likely the largest purchase you will make, as the saying goes. So just be aware of what is the norm and what you can and cannot live without. So to recap, let's just see 10 red flags. If they give you teaser rates to get you in the door, if they say, hey, no credit, no problem, they're really anxious to get you a loan when you know you don't have any credit or you have bad credit, they just might be charging you extra. So let's look closely at that. If they say, oh, you have to act now, and they start fast talking that just this deal is going to run out, that could be a real red flag if you're feeling pressured. If they require you to pay fees up front, that is not the norm, so that might be a red flag. If they start charging extra fees outside of the norm for your area, and your realtor and title company can help you know what is normal for your particular county or city, for example. If they if it was a cold call and they just showed up out of the blue, that may or may not be a negative, but it's questionable. Try and get a lender by referral. If they are charging you, telling you that you have to buy credit insurance or some other warranty, some mystery product, that could be an issue. If they charge you extra prepayment penalties, that could be a problem. And if they are maybe making a so-so loan just to close the deal so they can hound you in a few months so that you can refinance, just called churning or flipping, so that they can make more money off of you. In all cases, you want to make sure that you don't end up with negative amortization, which means the loan goes up instead of down. So I hope that was 10. I lost count. But in any case, let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, because I read all the comments and I will be happy to answer you directly. And of course, if you haven't done so already, I invite you to please subscribe. This has been Larissa with another episode of Did You Know? Thanks so much.